All right, Delon, thank you for that. Again, he's covering that Peoria County Sheriff race, but I want to talk about two races at the congressional level at this point. Again, joined by Transportation Secretary Ray Lahood and anchor legend here in Peoria, Tom McIntyre. He cracks up every time, but it's so true. Looking first at the Adam Kinzinger race versus Sarah Dady, that was not one I don't believe that a lot of people were looking at to be that close, and right now it looks like there's only 10% between the two at about 20% of the precincts reporting. What is going on there? There has to be a shock.
Ray mentioned it earlier. It's a woman's race maybe this year, the year of the woman, and there could be some blue wave action here. I don't know.
Well, it certainly wasn't on anybody's radar, and if there is a race that's this close, it may be the fact that a lot of people who haven't voted in the past decided to vote this time and get involved in a congressional race.
And you have it within that one. Obviously, you said it. That was not on people's radar to even be it's really a close one. But you have a Republican male versus a Democratic woman. Same case that we have within the race between Rodney Davis and Betsy Dirksen Londrigan. Where do you kind of see that playing off right now? Because that one is really pretty neck and neck. We expected,
that
but
one
it's
was
still
called
close.
to be close. That was called to be close. I mean, the prediction was Rodney Davis by maybe 2%, but that's a prediction that falls either way. The margin of error.
Well, first of all, the Londrigan name is a very good name in that district. Very well known in the Springfield area. Also, Rodney he's got a kind of a mixed district. It's not a solid Republican district. And again, I think a lot of people who had not been involved in elective politics, in voting, in getting involved, came out this time and voted, and I think this is going to be a real nail-biter.
And it's not just when we look at the congressional races. We're seeing at the state level right now a lot of Democratic wins at this point. Do you think it's because people who traditionally maybe have not gotten to the polls are coming out, or is it because of the fact of the state of Illinois as well? What do you think about those races?
I do think that Pritzker ran the kind of campaign that where he spent a lot of money and had a message of change and a message of getting things done, and Rauner had to run on his record, and people were very disappointed that the state went without a budget for 2 years, that people haven't been paid for services they've provided, and that our state is in debt the way that it is, and Pritzker played that to a fairly well, and that has encouraged, plus he had a real organization all over the state in getting people out to vote. And that probably has helped other Democrats.
And one would suggest that the incumbent governor does not have an organization that fits him quite as well.
And I know Lauren began to ask this question last time we had to toss a break, but the issue of money, or the addition of money in this. I mean, looking forward, how does the state of this campaign between the governor, both of them, $284 million, a record by far within the state, and I believe even surpassed 2010 in California. How does that change the landscape of how campaigns can be run in the state for elected office?
I'd like to. No, go ahead.
I think it's going to dissuade people from running for public office, certainly for statewide office, with the idea that if you're not a billionaire or certainly a multimillionaire and have your own resources, it may be impossible for you to run for office.
And I'd just like to point out, we're not talking strictly about the state of Illinois here. I pulled the figures. Campaigns and outside groups spent $3.2 billion on traditional media during the midterms. $600 million was spent in 5 cities alone: Los Angeles, Vegas, Tampa, Orlando, and New York City.
Wow.
So it's not just Illinois that is seeing this flood of money.
And the interesting part is, will that be something that people feel need to be addressed in the long run?
Well, the words campaign reform suddenly
it's popped up. Yeah, even J.B. Pritzker said that he would be for campaign reform. I asked him at this very spot.
I'm sure his kids would be for it as they see all their inheritance being spent on his political career.
Well, I'm so glad to have the two of you guys, your expertise here. I think we're running out of time here for this post, but more conversation to come. Lauren, I'm going to go ahead and send it to you.